So off to Rutland in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to tie up some shrimp patterns. So I'm still trying to get used to actually going live here, so hopefully we don't have any issues, because the last couple of times I've done it, it's been less than ideal. So flies I'm tying are just shrimp patterns. So if you don't already know, Rutland and Grapham are absolutely full of shrimp. So that's what we're going to tie today in preparation. We're heading down to Rutland. This is just a wee hare's ear pattern. Tie these in a size 10. You can tie them in size 12 as well. So dead easy to tie. The material I'm using is just a squirrel dubbing there. So we'll keep them dead simple. So got a couple of viewers. Thanks for joining us. Said first time really going live on any of the channels. I did try it yesterday. It was absolutely rotten. I think everything was pretty bloody, so let me know, guys and girls, whoever's watching, if you can see it clearly enough. Get a thumbs up, so I'm assuming that means yes, it's clear. Have any fish down at Rutland at all? Or Grapham for that matter? If you haven't, it's a place that you should get down to. So the thread I'm using is just a red Tech Stream for this size 10 nymph hook in the vise. And then I'm using this hen hackle for the tail fibres and also for the throat. So you want a decent pinch of that, those fibres for the tail. Shoot, in there. And then it's just a medium wire for your rib. And then for this one, I'm using a gold and silver tinsel. So it's silver on one side, gold on the other side. So to get the gold, you just want to put the silver on your side, so that when you come up the fly for your rib, you've got the gold that's showing on the outside. The shrimp down at Rutland are pretty big, so you'll get away with tying these flies in a size 10. Not getting out fishing this weekend, unfortunately. I know Ross from the Airflo boys, down in Grapham for the fast mill. I think it's fast mill. Used to be the Sierra pairs, but the fast mill down in Grapham. It's not a competition I've ever fished. So hopefully we get a wee bit of news from him if the fish are on the shrimp. It's getting to that kind of time of year that they should be. And again, the same fibres for the throat as well. That needed all my concentration there, sorry. If you are new to fly tying, this wee fly is just a hare's ear dial back. You can tie it as a cruncher as well, just by putting a hackle in the front of it. I tend to not be very good with the hackles, to be fair. If there's any flies that you want me to tie, show you how to tie it, let me know, drop me a wee message. I'm more than happy to try it. Give it a go at least, if I don't quite know how to tie them. So we've got a Sally Hansen on the head. Probably need to tie some boobies as well at some point today. Sparkler boobies. It seems to be the order of the day for this time down at Rutland. It was at High Clare during the week up at Chris Tamborini's place. It's up close to East Kilbride, so I just popped over after work. It was freezing, to say the least. If anyone's been up, he's just opened up a wee bait pond as well, which is ideal for anyone that wants to take their kids along or don't fly fish. You can get along to Chris's place up in East Kilbride and bait fish. So I'm just changing the tinsel on this one to two variations that I do with this is a gold, and the other one is an opal mirage. So that's just the two combinations that I do. I don't bother tying these in size 12s because the shrimp down at Rutland and Grapham are pretty big, so you want them. I don't think you really need to go any smaller than a size 10, but they do need to fit in the gauge, so can't go any bigger. This is just a natural squirrel dubbing that I'm using, or hare's ear. One of the two. Some amount of fish caught at Clew Dog last week for the international. Probably got a few guys here that are from England and Wales and Ireland, so we won't mention the result, but all in all it seemed to be a good trip for everybody, catching lots of fish. So if you haven't been down to Clew Dog before, down in Wales, it's a cracking water, really good. I was down there last November with Adam Forrest, who's my boat partner. Went down for a couple of days. We could have probably stayed there for a week, to be honest with you. The fishing was outstanding. But we get some pretty good weather to fish the dries. I think about this time of the year they've got a small buzzer that hatches, and I think they call it the autumn buzzer. And if you hit it at that time of the year, the fishing can be excellent. The place is stuffed with fish. Just make sure we get that in focus. So we'll tie another couple of these. We're dipping out the focus here. What's going on? There we go. So it's just a pearl body on this one rather than the gold. That's my two favourite colours. Does anyone want me to tie anything specific that's online just now? A resounding no. You can come in with your dubbing brush as well and just pull some of those fibres out. Right, last one of these and I'll be done done with the shrimp. I'll move on to something else. Thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. Right, where's my apparel? If you are new to the channel, thank you very much for joining us. Doesn't tell me here who's watching as far as subscribers are concerned, so hopefully we've got a couple of new viewers. Love it if you hit the subscribe button. Give us a wee thumbs up if you've done that, if you are new to the channel. I've got some exciting news coming in the next couple of weeks. You'll see me at some of the small still waters in and around Glasgow, doing some videos on some of those waters, just trying to give them a wee bit of support over the colder months if I can. When you're putting your holographic on, whatever way you put that on, whether it's wrapping it towards yourself or away from yourself, you want to bring up your wire in the opposite direction, and that's just going to help to lock in that rib and just protect the fly a little bit longer as well. If you don't have a rotary vise, you can take the fly out and turn it upside down. Makes it a little bit easier just to put your throat in. Just make sure you don't cut your thread whilst you're doing that. Try and cut it as neat as possible. You can put breathers down either side of that if you want goose bites, but for this fly you don't need it. Well, my opinion is you don't need it. Just put a wee bit extra dubbing up at the head. So we've got nine viewers, which is good. That doesn't make me feel so bad, because I'm not out fishing, which I wish I was. But we'll be away for a few days down at Rutland in a couple of weeks, so hopefully that's a good trip. Going away with the Hair Law boys. This is our second time down at this time of the year for the competition. This is just to top up my own box. I'm actually waiting on a few boxes getting delivered as well, so I've got a few orders going out. I've actually got a box that I'm giving away on the channel as well, but I've been waiting for a couple of weeks for the boxes to arrive so that I can get that done. So next, what we're going to tie next, I'm going to tie a couple of candy boobies. I'm a wee bit short in my box. Again, just tying this in a size 10 nymphook. And the marabou that I'm using for this is Dave Downey's. Get it on his website, flyfishingworld.com. And if you've used this stuff, you'll see that every feather that's on his marabou can be used. So in my opinion, this is the best material out there. for actually just going to stay with the red thread. The best marabou material, in my opinion. Keep dipping out in and out of focus just now. See if I can sort that in a second. That's better, I think. So just pinch off your marabou for your tail, and then what I would do is just take off any of the flew that's on the end and tie that in. Just makes it a little bit neater. He says, whilst I didn't get that the neatest myself, to be fair with you. So that's marabou from Dave Downey. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. Maybe I'll see it a little bit more there. It's a kind of bubblegum pink colour. And the body for this, whatever thread that you use, will dictate the colour of your way that your pearl comes through on that. So you just want to try and cover the body. Could have done a wee bit better job with the body on this, to be honest with you. And I'm going to come in with a wee bit of super glue, which is just going to help hold down the tinsel as well. Not too much. You can put a rib on these, as a wire rib, just to protect them as well. I like the red underneath this because it does give it a kind of traffic light kind of body. Just bring that up the body and just tie it off, and then you're going to come in with your wing on the top. Again, same stuff. You can actually see that traffic light. I say traffic light, it's the colours of a traffic light. Funnily enough. So, material for the wing, again, just using the bubble gum. Just remove any of the flew up at the top. It makes it easier to tie it in. It's a bit neater as well, rather than trying to cut the material, cut the marabou afterwards. Got a tail in there, that's huge. Yeah, and this one I'm doing it with pink eyes. Two colours that I do these boobies in, or with the yellow eyes, or these purple, or pink eyes should I say. It might be purple, not the dark purple ones. So figure 8 through them, and just tidy it up at the front. Wee bit of varnishing the thread. As I said, the box that I'm tying here is a box for Rutland, so I'm only really tying two each of the patterns. I'll just stick them into a box, separate from butterflies, and these are just patterns that I think, you know, that I'm going to try when I go out for practice. So we go down on the Friday night, we're practicing the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and the competition is the Tuesday, Wednesday. So hopefully by the time Tuesday comes, you've got a box built by the team with flies that have worked for them during their practice. Well, that's the way it's meant to work. Doesn't always work that way. So just another one of those. red thread, so it gives you that traffic light look on the body. These are all comp legal. When I say comp legal, they all fit within the gauge, which is a requirement for your competition fishing, the loch style competition fishing. But if you're tying these at home, you can tie them with a longer tail on them if that's how you like them tied, if you're not fishing competitions. But for this, you need to get them in the gauge, and they're pretty strict with it as well, so you don't want to be getting caught fishing oversized flies. The else fishing Rutland in a couple of weeks. They've been on Rutland and can tell me a wee bit about, tell me any info about what's going on the water. I've not been down since May. Oops. So it was buzzer time then. So completely different tactics at this time of the year. A couple of years ago when we were fishing it, it was all DI5s, sweeps, fishing sparkler boobies. And there are no secrets, because that's what everybody was fishing. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they're telling fibs. Sparkler boobies, crunchers, and roly-polying. That was the order of the day for most people. I think it was Lintrathen that won it when I was down. I was fishing with a guy, and Brian McKenzie was my boat partner in day one. What an angler that boy is. Learned a thing or two then. Nice guy. Right. Just make sure those eyes are sitting straight and equal. Same. Should we tie one more fly? Just looking at the time just now. Out at the in-laws tonight for Sunday dinner. I've promised my wee boy that I would go out and play football with him as well. So we'll get another couple of flies tied before I head off. So I try and tie half a dozen flies every day for my own box. Unless I've got an order that I'm doing, I'll sit down and try and tie 20 or 30 flies every night for a box if I can, if work doesn't get in the way. So candy baby, that's that done. And then the last fly that I'm going to tie, he thinks, is, put this away. just a variation of the same fly. Just get sunburst on the wing. It's a great fly. Don't ask me what it's called because I can't remember. Get my baby eyes ready. Right. So we need some white marabou for the tail on this one. So it's this, well, it's not white, it's this is Spring Water Blue, again by Dave Downey. If you missed it last time, www.fly-fishingworld.com, that's where you'll find Dave Downey stuff. Some of the best that's on the market. So, tail on this fly. This is Spring Water Blue. Where's my scissors went to? I can hear one of the kids coming up the stairs. So, we might have a visitor here in a second. And just a wee bit of super glue on the body. And bring your rib up, or your body material. And come in with your sunburst. Again, this is David Downey's as well. I think this is called a Candyman. Candyman booby. Can pink baby eyes on this one. Just a wee bit of varnish. Hopefully going to get out on the 23rd of September on the Lake of Menteith. One of the subscribers, hopefully, is going to get the time off work to come up from down south I'm going to fish the Lake of Menteith together. He's been one of the subscribers that I've had on the channel pretty much from day one. Been a great support. So he's going to come up and we're going to spend the day together in the Lake of Menteith. There we go. So I think that's called a Candyman booby. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But for the purposes of this video, I'm calling it a Candyman booby. It's really annoying that that camera just doesn't like to stay in focus for some reason. Right, this is the last one anyway, guys, so that'll be me done for this afternoon. And then I'll decide if I'm going to do more of these. Believe it or not, all the videos that I do are one take wonders, but I think when it's live it's a wee bit more daunting, to be honest with you. Right, tinsel for this one, and then, as I said, we'll be calling it a day. If you have enjoyed it, which I hope you have, and you're not subscribed, I hope by the time I finish this fly that you've went on and subscribed to the channel. And if you are a returning viewer, you've decided to tune in live, this is where you see all the mistakes happening in real life. That's the thing. We will all make mistakes when we're at the vice. Don't worry about it. That happens to the best of us. And I'm by no stretch of the imagination am I any sort of pro tire or anything like that. I just do it as a bit of a hobby. And just for the enjoyment. And I sell one or two flies along the way. That helps pay for some of the materials. But also not everybody that watches the channel is a fly tyer, believe it or not. Some just like to know what's going on so they can go into the shop and buy the flies. So whatever the reason that you're watching the channel is, thank you very much. If there's anything you think I can do a bit better, and there's probably tons of them, then please let me know. I always try to improve the channel as well, as much as possible. I don't have a massive budget for fancy cameras or anything like that. Everything I do, if I'm on the water, it's with a GoPro. And when I'm tying, it's with my phone. So I know a lot of the kind of pro tyers out there, they're quite often using some pretty good camera equipment that allow them to zoom in on things a lot better than what I can. But hopefully you get the idea of what we're trying to do. Ideally I would get a camera specifically for fly tying if I thought it was going to help, but see, if I'm honest with you, tying the flies using your iPhone is pretty good quality. Then I use some editing software that you can get free online. I think it's called CapCut for editing any of the fishing videos. I don't edit any of the fly tying videos because they're not that long to edit, and if I've made a mistake then that's absolutely fine. We're up at 10 viewers just now, so we've had a few people drop off, a few people join us, so anyone that's just joined, thank you very much for tuning in. Since you've just joined, I'll maybe tie another couple of flies Is there anything that you want me to tie specifically? Let me know. If I've got the materials there, then I'll tie them. Can I actually see who's online? No, I can't. It's a bit weird. Feel as if people are stalking you, watching you in your house tying flies. There we go. Right, let's tie a couple of buzzers. Right, what we got here? Get some black thread. See if we can get this in focus first. It's a pain in the backside trying to get this iPhone on focus. So I apologise now if it goes out of focus. It's probably user error because loads of people are using their camera on their phone. So I'm going to tie a couple of buzzers. I'll show you. I know I've just done a video of this on the channel, making a three favourite buzzers, but I'll do them live for you just now. So just black thread, size 10, hook in the vise, a medium wire. Bring that up. You can go up and down once or twice. It'd be great if the camera went into focus. You can go up and down the body of the fly 2 or 3 times just to bulk it out, but because I'm putting 3 or 4 coats of varnish, and I do use Gulf Thin Man for my buzzers as well, and that just helps to build out the body, so you don't need as many thread wraps on the body. You can use your varnish just to build up a wee bit. And the Gulf Thin Man resin, that's really good to kind of speed up the process as well. So if you're tying a lot of buzzers, you don't want to wait for your varnish to dry. If you go and get yourself some UV resin and a UV torch, that will certainly speed up the process for you, because the UV resin's a bit thicker and you can cure it immediately. That's the most important thing. It's really the curing time. So your varnish will take you, first coat of varnish, I usually do them at night, and then the following day after work I'll come in and I'll then do a second coat of varnish, so on and so forth. So I'll leave them on my bench, curing overnight, because if you go in with the varnish too quickly, it will not set properly, and then as soon as you hook a couple of fish, then what happens is it'll crack and it'll get damaged. So don't varnish your buzzers too quickly, one coat after the other. So that's just a very simple buzzer. As I said, I put this on the page, 3 favourite buzzers, and that is one of them. Dead quick. Can't focus the camera right enough, but there you go, you get the idea. And there's some buzzers that I've been tying this morning. So what else will we tie? Let's see. Should we change some threads? In fact, tell you what, let's tie a couple of dries. I need to change, get all this rubbish out of the way, put these hooks away, because the hooks I'm going to use are the Full and Mill grab gapes. That's what I tend to use for my dry flies. Size 12s. That's the box there if you're looking for them. Just grab gapes. All my flies that I tie are always in They're always in bronze. I don't really like the black nickel hooks. I did previously use them, especially on the buzzers. I think you kind of lose the colour. If anyone's looking for really good CDC, this is the Irish Plucker. You can get it online. Probably the best CDC that's out there, unless you want to spend megabucks. Some of the guys that are over in Europe. I mean, the stuff that they're using is amazing. You use every feather. But this stuff's pretty good. Let me get myself organised. What do I need? I need some right, light olive. In fact, you know what I'm going to tie? There's a fly that was shown to me. See if I've got the materials on my desk here. Black olive, that's what we need. This is a fly that was shown to me by a very good angler. He fishes the Lake of Menteith all the time. He's got a Scotland cap. Really good guy, a guy called Scott Henderson. And this isn't a secret. He actually told me that to put it up on the channel. I've just not got around to actually doing it. So if you hang fire for a couple of minutes, guys, I'm going to tie you this fly. Hopefully I do it justice. Scott, if you're watching, you know the fly I'm about to tie. You can tell me if I get it wrong. I'm kind of guessing a little bit. No, I'm not really. He's given me one of the flies, so. But I'm doing it from memory. There's not much to it. You generally tie this fly on a much smaller hook. This is a size 12, which hopefully we can keep this in focus and get it tied. But Scott ties these down to size 18s, the nutter. And if you know Scott's just a cracking guy. Very, very good angler. He's on the Lake of Menteith all the time. He fished for Scotland last year as well when they won gold. But Scott does a lot of dry fly fishing. And he's got some really, really nice patterns. But one thing I would say about the patterns that he ties and he uses, they're probably in your box or a variation of it. So there's nothing that's there's nothing secret. He tells me there's no secrets. So we're out at the we're out fishing a competition a few months ago, and this is the fly that he was getting his fish on, and he tells me that it's still working. So get 5 plumes of CDC in. I'll just cut that off. And we'll start building our body up. Now, generally speaking, I would tie this in a size 14, 16, 18. That's the sort of sizes that I would tie this fly in. However, I put a size 12 in the vise, so that's what you're getting just now. Right, rib for this is a chartreuse, small wire. This one's from Flybox, but any chartreuse wire will do. Get that tied in, and then we've got some pearl number 14 that we're going to put up the back of this fly. So let me get that on there. Just make sure that when you're doing that, you get that right in the middle of the fly. And then just build up your body. And there we go. Scott, if you're watching, let me know. Right, body material for this, black olive. And this one's from Chuck and Duck. And we want to get this onto your thread, and you want it really thin. You don't want anything that's too bulky at all. Sorry, that camera's really doing my head in. I nearly swore there, but YouTube doesn't like swearing on it. Right. So black olive, chuck and duck. Keep it really, really skinny. All the way up. Right, I'm just going to stop it there, so I've got a wee gap just in there. And I'm going to bring the tinsel up the back of the fly. And just lock that in. The reason why I've left a wee gap there is I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a wee drop more of that dubbing, then bring up your wire. Just make sure that you keep everything right down the back of the fly and bring that up into that wee space that you've left yourself, just like that. Make sure we've got enough space at the front. There you go, that's the back of that fly. Hopefully you can see it there. And then with a wee bit more dubbing, you're just going to add that in just where your thorax would be. Same stuff. Black olive. I'm going to need to invest in a new camera, guys, because this ain't doing the job from a focusing point of view. Dead annoying. I hate to be watching that when it's going in and out of focus. Right. What finish to the top of it, and that is you. I can guarantee you that fly there is absolutely deadly. Just make sure when you're doing it, when you tie your body in, you keep the material nice and tight, nice tight rope around the body. You don't want to have anything that's too bulky. And when you put in your peril over the back of it, you can use different colours of peril if you want. I dare say red would work as well, or even just a clear back might work just as well. But try that fly, Lake of Menteith. I dare say it'll work all over the place. Tie it, that's size 12. But you'll be able to tie that in 18s, 16s, 14s, 12s. You might even want to tie it in a 10, but I wouldn't go any bigger than that, to be fair with you. I think the smaller, this is a kind of smutty wee pattern, so there we go. Hopefully next time I do this I won't have to hold my thumb over the fly so you can see it. So guys, I really appreciate you taking the time with me today. That's my first ever YouTube live. Did it go well? It didn't go terribly, so we'll do a few more of these. I'm going to need to get a new camera or figure out how to stop the blurring. If anyone's got any suggestions, then please let me know. And if you're out this weekend, tight lines, hopefully I get out on the 23rd with Alan. Hopefully you've got your day off, mate. Cheers. Take care, guys.